Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for tuning in to Atomic Movie Reviews. This is Atomicon Rex, and let's just jump into it. So, what movie did we review this week? Today we watched the movie. Well, it's not even a movie. It's actually a TV series. I should say a streaming series on Netflix. It's called Tekken, Bloodline. It's an anime. It's not too bad. It wasn't too long. It was about 6 episodes long, about 30 minutes per episode. It's just your regular anime. It's not CGI. It's not a mixture of CGI and anime. It's just your regular down-to-earth anime show. What genre is it? Well, I would say it's definitely fantasy / martial arts. If anybody knows, what the Tekken universe is about, it's a fighting video game. It's a 3D fighting video game that came out in the 90s on the PlayStation. And it was actually pretty popular. It was like a rival to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. So it's like the top 3. It's Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter, like the top 3 fighting games. They've even had a couple crossovers between Tekken and Street Fighter, I believe. Okay, anyways. So let's give a little bit of history on the movie. The first Tekken movie was an anime. It was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. The second one was a CGI Tekken movie. I should have wrote the names of the movies, but I didn't. I saw the first 2. There's 2 live actions as well. I didn't get to see those. Those were, I think they were released in Japan, and they're in Japanese and dubbed and whatnot, and I didn't bother watching them. But the 2 other cartoons are pretty good, and this one's pretty good too. This one, it's more fleshed out because it's a series, so you get more character development as opposed to like an hour and a half, 2 hour movie. So I do like that. It's one of the better video game adaptations to date. Castlevania is a good one, but they made that into an anime. Sonic is a good one too, but I wouldn't really. That's CGI. That's not anime. That's definitely CGI. So they're getting better with the video game adaptations. What I like most about the Tekken movie is that it keeps to the source material. So there's a tournament, people are fighting in the tournament, there's all kinds of weird characters and elements in the tournament, and it follows the basic original arc of the Tekken universe, unlike other video game adaptations that I'm not going to mention. The creators completely didn't pay no attention to the game and just kind of made up their own story. So a lot of people were disappointed when they actually watched that video game adaptation. It had nothing to do with the source material. So I like the fact that they stick to the source material and they added to the Tekken mythos. So how did they add to the Tekken mythos? Okay, so in the original story arc, there's a guy named Kazuha Mishima. He's like the main character. He's not the hero of the story, but he is the main character. So in this one, it talks about his son. Okay, so it actually picks up from like the 3rd Tekken video game. Now his son is named Jin Kazama, and he's the hero of the show. He's a good guy. He's the son of Kazuha Mishima. I know I'm butchering these names, but forgive me. He's the former hero that turned to a villain in the original arc. So this story is a revenge tale. Some supernatural entity shows up, basically fights and kills his mom, so that sends him on a revenge path on becoming strong enough to fight this entity and defeat it. So here comes Heihachi Mishima. He's basically the evil Mr. Miyagi in this one. He's like a brutal trainer. In the original arc, he's the villain. In the original series, he's the villain. But in this one, he's not the villain. He's just, he's an evil Mr. Miyagi. He's there to train Jin in order to fight the monster that killed his mom. The love interest, Ling Xiaoyu, she's pretty cool. She's the love interest / sidekick. She didn't really people didn't give her too much credit, because she was a pretty girl and everything. But when she got in the ring, she actually was able to prove herself. So, everybody doubted her, but in the end, she actually became a legit fighter. King is the Mexican wrestler in the video game. In this story, he's the noble warrior. Like, he has a good cause behind him. He's also very formative. Like, he can fight, and you could tell like they're setting him up as the main opponent to Jin. So that was a pretty good fight. I like how they incorporated their technique and skills into the cartoon. Like, for instance, there's in the video game, there's like charges, there's like charged punches and charged kicks, and like a little sphere of glowing energy ball will like follow after you punch or kick somebody. And I never knew if that was like just a stylist version of somebody getting punched, or was that an actual projectile. And so in this universe, in this show, they're actual projectiles. So they're kind of like fireballs, kind of like in the Street Fighter. So that was pretty interesting. Well, the main villain is this supernatural entity. His name is Org. He was pretty interesting. He's like this Aztec god, bad guy. He was like the last villain before they got like real crazy with the bad guys. Like, he still looks normal. The other bad guys are like angels and demons and monsters. This guy just looks like an Aztec god. He's green, he's tall, he's huge. He's a bad guy. You could tell he's like the villain of the story. So that was pretty cool. His arc, how he was depicted was really interesting. He had this kind of ethereal glow about him throughout the whole story. I really thought it was really cool. How they depicted him was really cool. Mode of transportation. There really wasn't a mode of transportation in this show. There wasn't any airplanes, planes, boats, cars, or anything like that. The only thing I could think of is maybe Org's medallion. That was kind of his transportation device. Like, basically, Heihachi had this medallion that kept the spirit of Org in it. Either the spirit was trapped in it like some dragon crystal genie, or it summoned it. I don't really remember. I do remember, I don't know, the medallion falling or something, and then like a pillar of light coming out from the clouds and, descends Org in his Aztec god form. Okay, so that was pretty interesting. Is this an original work? No, this is based on a video game. This is like the fourth in the series. I do like this because it hits almost every genre. So the first movie was an anime, The second one was a CGI anime. Then it went to live action. I think there's 2 movies in the live action form, actually. I haven't seen them, but I'm pretty sure there are. And then it went to a streaming service that's now a series. I'm pretty sure they're going to pick this up for another season. They did it with Castlevania. I don't see why they want to do it with this one. Another things to mention. It's definitely a fantasy martial arts anime because there are all kinds of weird characters and fantasy elements. There's demons. What they call Org a demon. I wouldn't call him a demon. I would call him more of a like an Aztec spirit or something like that because there's devils in it. There's devils in it. There's spirits. There's karate, fighting bears. There's all kinds of weird stuff. Okay, so summary and conclusion. Tekken, what is it? Bloodsport? Tekken Bloodline. Tekken Bloodline is a anime. It's on the Netflix. It's a show, so it's gonna be about 6 episodes, 30 minutes per episode. Fantasy martial arts. It adds to the Tekken universe, and it's a revenge tale. Do I recommend watching this? I do. It's not a bad watch. It's good pacing. It's not a must see, but if you're a Tekken fan, I'm sure they're releasing this before they release Tekken 8. Like, I'm pretty sure there's probably another Tekken game coming because of this show. So, but I could be wrong. Like, they dropped the Castlevania Netflix TV show, and I don't think they released another Castlevania game, but I'm pretty sure there's another Tekken game coming out. Okay, so that's my review. Atomicon Rex does recommend you watch this. It's not bad. It's a decent entry to the series, and that's all I got for you guys. So, well, have a good day and talk to you later. Bye bye.